Republican Senator Lindsey Graham does a lot of interviews, and that means he has to confront his own lengthy interview record.
If Jeff Sessions is fired, there will be holy hell to pay. Any effort to go after Mueller could be the beginning of the end of the Trump presidency.
Holy hell, the beginning of the end? But look at Lindsey Graham just last night on Fox News when confronted with that very clip.
Given where we are now, what do you say now?
So when was that? What year?
July of 2017. Things have changed.
I think Mr. Whitaker was a good pick. I think he's going to be as fair as impartial as Eric Holder and Loretta Lynch were. The bottom line is this is hysteria more than it is anything else.
Graham trying to laugh that off, but it's not funny to most people. And in terms of Graham's views on Trump, let's be clear. He has abandoned his own publicly stated, repeated convictions in exchange for what looks like now a certain proximity to being with Trump.
I think he's a kook. I think he's crazy. I think he's unfit for office.
Endless attempt to label the guy as some kind of kook, not fit to be president.
I don't believe he's a Republican. His policies are really bad for the country. Number one, I agree with him mostly. He's a jackass.
I like the president. I want to help him.
Trump's foreign policy is a complete disaster.
What President Trump has done is historic. He deserves the Nobel Peace Prize and then some.
And then some. I want to be clear. There are many Americans who generally support Donald Trump, and there are plenty of reasons for them to feel that way and for all of us to try to debate politics civilly. But what we're seeing here is important because as Senator Lindsey Graham descends deeper into pure self-caricature of craven political hypocrisy, he has come to personify the hollowing out of a significant portion of the leadership of the Republican Party.
He's a race-baiting, xenophobic, religious bigot. No, I don't think he's a xenophobic, race-baiting, religious bigot as president.
Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.